Welcome back to Doing Business in Rwanda. For a country seeking to generate 1,000 megawatts of power by the year 2017, distribution once actualized is vital for efficiency and accessibility. We join Loise Wachira for details on how Rwanda plans to increase power connectivity across the country and region.
Rwanda's power connectivity currently stands at 16%. The country hopes to increase this connectivity in the rural areas to 70% level by 2017 and also across the region through creating power pools.
Here in Rwanda, particularly in Loise, we do have a program called the ERP, Electricity Access Rotor Program. It is a national-wide initiative just to extend the electricity to population, and we have a target. Just by 2017, our population has to have access up to 7%. Currently, the situation is 16%. What we have, ERP is a kind of a department in which we have different partners. The first partner is the government. With Rwandan beneficiaries, they are contributing also. But we have other partners like World Bank, African Bank, Belgium Cooperation, Saudi Arabia, and so on. What we've done until now, we've mapped the whole country. We've done a planification. We know now the requirement in all provinces, south, east, north, and west. We know the budget. Now we've set program from every year. We have some connected to be done.
In the East African community, we need also to consider that if Kenya or Uganda is producing more electricity than they need, we can be able to get access to that electricity in the region. But the only problem we are facing at the moment is the availability of the transmission line, I mean the grid, to interconnect those countries and be able to get access to a cheap electricity produced in another country.
In Rwanda, we are at the phase of exploration drilling, and it is starting by next month. So once we discover when the resources are proved, that is when we start development of our geothermal. And as I know, the geothermal is the cheapest resources, and it is so steady state, meaning the power plant or the electricity is available much more time. Then that will be our main focus. So with the hydro and solar mix, we plan to have 1,000. And we have seen that consumption is a kind of chicken and egg situation. So once we get people to get electricity, they get hungry of it, they demand for it. And if even we don't consume the 1,000 megawatt, we are part of Eastern Africa power pool. You heard about the interconnection between countries, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia, Libya, Sudan, and Burundi, DRC. So all those countries will be having a same power pool. So you will never know this power is coming this way or that way. Everything can be dispatched. So we are not worried about having any excess because it will be covered regionally. Like if we don't reach our target at 100%, we will be covered by power coming from Ethiopia, from Kenya, from Uganda.
Interconnectivity of all power sources from hydro, peat, methane, geothermal, among other alternative energies, will not only positively impact on the regional energy power pool, but will also help in improvement of socioeconomic activities of the general populace.
We encourage investors mainly to come in our methane and peat mostly, because that is where it is so easy to get a viable project that can recover the cost of investment very quickly. You cannot give electricity to people scattered all over the place. So we have other institutions working hard to get the population of Rwanda to be in the same villages. And once they are in the villages, they get like advantages in everything. It's easy for me, who is in charge of energy, to give them electricity, reliable and affordable, and at even low cost. And it will be easy for all the other infrastructure. You know, I'm in charge of water. It's also easy to get the water to a village than to people who are scattered all over the place. So efforts are being made so that we put people together, living together, avail much more land for agriculture, and also giving them infrastructure at low cost and increase availability of those infrastructure.
Renewable energy sector in Rwanda, and I think in Africa, in most countries in Africa, is a good business for people who want to make business, at the same time make a change. You know, it's a business that people don't think of, but which is I can say profitable, and again, which makes a difference on the country, on the local population. Because we come from those people in the rural areas. I mean, me, I saw electricity the first time I think I had a beard. So if these people have electricity, have access to electricity, you know, it improves their lives. At the same time, you are improving people's life, and at the same time, you are making money. So I think it's a sector that people should come to if they want to make that difference.
But on the other hand, companies yet to take up the use of alternative energy realize the urgency in doing so. This will have a trickle-down effect on their final product pricings and in turn steering Rwanda's industries and subsequent economic growth.
Either if you get alternative energy in the lower price, in fact we increase our production capacity, and also we can reduce the manufacturing cost, and we can contribute more product to the country. That means in a lower price we can sell our product in the market. So indirectly it save the country, and the bottom level of people can have a more cement and concession, more houses or building like that. So they will also the other part of the beneficiary.
For the big consumers like mining, metal, definitely that will have a trickle effect, because the energy cost is a big component of the cost of doing business. So meaning that once we are going to resolve that problem, the pricing will be better, so will be more competitive than what we are today, which is absolutely important. And of course, there is also a way to be able to work day and night, because then if you have enough energy and at a favorable cost, it will help us also to be more open to work day and night.
Naturally, all electricity is really essential in almost every industry. The ones that we think of immediately tend to be the large industries like coffee, tea, mining, and of course all of these have big electricity needs. But also the other sectors in Rwanda that are quieter require a lot of power as well. The tourism sector always requires electricity, and so does, for instance, banking. If you've ever been in a bank, when the power cuts off, immediately the generators cut back on and provide alternative power. And what we can see if we develop alternative energy here and make abundant electricity is that there will be very little need for backup generation in all of the different businesses in the commercial sector.
To realize this vision, the Rwandan government has created an enabling business environment which has seen it ranked 52nd out of 185 countries on the 2012 World Bank's Ease of Doing Business report.
Business in Rwanda, for me, has been easy compared to all of the technical challenges and all of the difficult things that we had to do. Setting up the business was easy. We had the usual kinds of legal problems you might have, and we found that not only the judicial sector, but also the government sector, which worked with the courts and other things, was very helpful to us and kept us going. And in all of our work, we've never had anyone come up to us and say, hey, can I have a kickback? Can I have a little bit of money on the side? And that just decreases the stress greatly, because when I talk to somebody in the government or some other sector, I know what they really want to know is how much power we're going to make, how much we're going to invest, and they're not looking at it for what's the angle for them. And so that's been a great benefit to working here, is the openness and transparency that we found.
Going forward, as Rwanda gears up to catch up or surpass development of the country in totality, energy mixes and pulling in of all sectors will be pivotal in helping realize its goals through efficient and affordable energy sources.
You know, effort that we are doing by making sure we have a generation mix that is affordable and even available, since the geothermal is available 95% of the time, this energy mix will make it cheaper. And now we kind of having thermal generation, which is a little bit higher, and we have a plan to get rid of it by 2015. So by that time, the energy cost will go lower and it will be cost reflective.
One thing to remember too, we're here in the energy sector and we're trying to make things work here, and it's going well in the energy sector. But the energy sector is just one piece of the whole puzzle. And what I'm seeing in Rwanda as I work here is that we need everything to fit together, and that's what's happening. I think they're on the national and regional and local levels, the different pieces are fitting together so that we know that, yes, our power purchase agreement will be honored, but we also know that the banking system is growing and improving, and we also know that the transmission lines are continually being upgraded and improved, and the infrastructure of roads is improving, so that our work here is only one small piece of the cooperative work with all of the different sectors. And I think the reason things are working here in Rwanda is because people are all working together in the different sectors.